All right. Hello, hello, hello. Is this... That's a little better. Get some of this stuff out of the way. One of these days I'll figure out that I should get everything all set up and good to go and polished before I start. But how is everybody doing this fine Saturday evening? It is Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. I've had a crazy couple of days lately. Working on packing that most recent order. Set up a new packing station. Dealing with life in general. But I'm doing okay, so I shouldn't complain. Life is good. Doing the things I love. 3. Okay, 8-4 is what's up next. All right. Hey, Wicked Zen, what's up? Josh, how's it going? Busy building, that's good to hear. Justin has builds. Yo, what's up, man? Good Zen, doing well. Good to hear. Josh, I purchased a cutting mat. I gotta figure out how I'm going to ship that thing. Those things are, at least the huge stack of them was pretty heavy. That was definitely the heaviest box in that shipment I just got. Backseat politician, what's up? I'm doing good. Good to hear, man. Said not much is up really. I've been busy the past few days working on shipments and trying to stay on top of stuff. A2 and H1. You know, live the dream as always. Hey Jack, what's up, man? It's all the same. No, I need A3. I'm on the wrong. I think I caught that. I'm apparently tired. Everything going on has been catching up with me this week. Late nights. A bunch of late nights. Seth. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Not much, Seth. How are you doing today? Welcome, everybody. Welcome anybody who might be new to the stream here. I've definitely seen a few new faces, new names. So today, as I've been working on the past few weeks now, I've been working on this Deathscythe Hell. Got the hip unit, backpack, wings, weapons to do. If I'm lucky, I'll get through all of that tonight. But we'll see. XB9. Wicked Zen, crazy hard to find things these days. A lot of quarantine building going on. What are you having trouble finding? Wicked Zen. There's definitely, I've noticed the market, the distributors that I use have been running low on certain kits. There's a bunch of stuff that I wish I had picked up a few weeks ago. I was like, I'll grab it next time, and it disappeared. Gunplay University with some good people. What's going on, man? What is up with everybody? Josh said he's building. Is anybody else building today? Josh, you working on that that master grade ball Verka that I saw a picture of earlier today? Or are you working on something else? You've got a couple things going on right now, don't you? Seth ordered my PG perfect strike for you today. Good improv, you killed the price at my local hobby store. So thank you for what you do. No problem, man. I mean, the way I see it, there's two main factors in shopping anywhere. Well, maybe three. I guess there's probably three. One is price, especially online stores. You're gonna pick based on price, so might as well be at least in the ballpark of the best possible prices out there if you can, within reason. Because why not? The second one will be customer service, because people will definitely pay a little bit more for good service, I think. So if I can provide the same or close to the best prices and a better customer service than everybody else, then that really makes it a no-brainer. And I guess the third would be shipping speed, and I think we're killing that side of things. Justice builds, yeah, building, jumped into the HG Leo. Really interesting kit so far. Man, I love the Leo. I think I've got 4 I've snapped so far. 1 I painted. I've got a few of the different P Bandai variants. I plan on painting up some of the Space Leos. And I've got one of the P Bandai real grade Tall Geese 2s coming, which I think will be a nice pair. Some sort of little like space diorama or something would be pretty cool with that. I've got a couple of the flight types. I just got a couple of the full weapon set ones in and a bunch of the standard ones. Bandai really did a good job with that kit. There's very few problems with it. Wow, this chat, I gotta catch up on this. Just getting back into it after a few years. I had trouble finding tool supplies like markers, nipper, etc. Right now, action bases, and a few kits. Well, if you haven't yet, definitely check out what we got. We've got most action bases. We've run out a few of the ones that we had. Monday Bus, good evening at all. I'm building ARC 78 Stardust right now. Cool. Josh and I'm using that for you guys to spread the word for my giveaway. Okay, you can use building HG Leo as well. Then on to Maganac and Sandrock. Maganac's probably one of my other favorites, as most people. Anybody who's been following any of my stuff for a while knows I built the entire Maganac core back in December, so that was crazy. And Nick, hey, what's up? Great to see the streams popping. Truly deserve man business. Thank you. Really appreciate the support, man. Josh, I'm building the Deep Striker. Ah, yes. That one's taken some time. Ronan Phillip built all my kits, waiting for more in the mail. That's not a good situation to be in, man. Hate that when you run out of stuff. Your backlog lets you down. Mixie Politician working RG Strike, Hail Strike right now. We're finished RG Sky Grasp yesterday. We're them for you Saturday. I got them on Wednesday. So the sticker, love the color on it. Awesome, glad to hear you like the sticker. We're running low on those. I got shipping notification on our sticker restock, so those should come in on, I think, Monday, hopefully. Monday or Tuesday, we should have a ton more stickers. Been out of blue and orange for a little while now. Nick, man, once the Deathscythe is done, you're going to have that thing looking good. Yeah, thanks. Polycaps only have no good, though. Yeah, I mean, polycaps are a pain, but they are what they are. I just think that's a pretty solid kit for the price. You can't beat it. Such a nice kit, the Leo. It's definitely like if you want one to try out painting stuff on, I feel like that's one of the ones that should be considered. Look at that, my first ever build years ago was Deathscythe, still a favorite, but lost it along with most things years ago. Can't find them anywhere. We have some master grade Deathscythes and Deathscythe Hells on order. I just don't expect to see them for another month or two. Waiting for Bluefin to get their act together after being closed for almost 2 months. Justin's build Arcade Tall Gaze is really, really nice. The Tall Gaze 2, and it felt like a really small MG. Good. That's good to hear. I haven't built any real grades yet, but I had to jump on the Tall Gaze 2 real grade when P Bandai USA opened up and started offering it. 14 and G2. Nick, any chance to get some of the SD BB Legend series? Really want a bunch from that line. What about doing? So, Nick, if you have, if there's particular ones you want, shoot me a DM or something on the Discord or whatever, or wherever you want to get in touch with me. Actually, I don't really care too much where it is, which ones you're looking for, and I will make note next time I'm ordering to see if I can grab them. What about doing some anniversary colors for near the next order? Anniversary for the stickers? I don't know, man. So I had to get in touch with somebody to change the colors in the sticker for the artwork because I kind of lost touch with the guy who did the original art for him. But that might be a possibility. Potentially add some more colors. We could end on finishing HG Overflag. First one years. Next one HG Eldor Brute. Cool. Big Bear Kung Fu Super Kick Your Face. That is an awesome handle. Where is this? What techniques do you recommend to hide seams? So, I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to answer this question. Justinius, do you have a video on seam removal on your channel? I know he's got probably a good person to ask about that stuff, but I basically use the Tamiya cement in between the pieces, stick them together, let it cure, and then you can sand them down. Is basically the really short version of that. I checked when I got the restock notes over for DS. I'll keep checking. Just if you want, you can link it in here. If that'll work, I think it'll work. Might help somebody out. I need to get a series of like Mecha Warehouse like tutorial videos together at some point for all the different basic techniques. But in the meantime, I might as well leverage what already exists out there. I sent your Discord, you demand. Thank you. I'll take a look. No guarantees, because the situation's changing pretty rapidly for what's available, but I know I've seen some of them on there, so assuming they're still in stock, I'll hook you up. Wow, we got a really big group tonight. Josh, just grind your runners into dust and use glue. And I think, yeah, that's like the more advanced technique if you've got more of a gap would be to either use some sort of putty or make your own putty. If you do the whole grind the dust down and or grind the runners down and basically melt them, you can fill bigger gaps, but I think most people just use glue if it's tight. Monday, Buzzkill, I love the store. Please look into having in-stock filter functionality on your site. That would be good. I plan on redoing basically the whole site soon. It's just a matter of time, and I've been kind of trading off spending my time with restocks and shipping right now versus nice to haves like improving the store. But it'll happen at some point in the next few weeks or months. Let's have to get around to it. I've been looking at themes. There's a theme out there for Shopify that will actually let you show in-stock quantities, which might be interesting and useful for people to be able to see, you know, oh, there's tons of these on hand. I can wait until next week because I want to, when I get paid, or I need to buy this now because I really want it, kind of thing. There's a lot of improvements that I'd like to make. Dylan Perry got a coupon code on hand before I place my order. If you make this a bit of a game for you, but there are some codes out there, so if you do your sleuthing, you can probably find one, but I'll make you look for it. George Lopez, what's up, Mecha Man? Not much, man. How are you? This is a really active stream tonight. I guess sending an email right beforehand probably helped that a little bit. How's everybody holding up with everything? All the quote-unquote isolation and such. The whole COVID situation. Red Dragon, muhaha, I have arrived. This is not Zai. Okay, so you're one of the other people then. Like for me, I think the isolation, the whole quarantine thing isn't that bad. I don't mind it a lot because, I don't know, I tend to be home anyway. I don't have a huge need to be out and about. It's kind of killed some of my jiu-jitsu training for me, which has sucked. Having to not be able to teach classes in person with the dojo and stuff kind of sucks. But other than that, the only real killer is the fact that my son's not in school, so he's driving my wife totally insane because she doesn't have that, you know, like 5-hour break or whatever during the day where she's not double teamed by both of her kids. We can't exactly just like call up parents or drop them off with the in-laws or anything like that. Okay, backseat politician. You feel like any of the magazines show building techniques, any plans of carrying them, anything like that? I want to carry books and magazines and stuff at some point. It's just a matter of working through adding them. There's definitely a bottleneck right now, which is the fact that I'm flying solo and all this stuff, and there's more stuff that needs to be done than I have time for, unfortunately. So it's in the plans. I ate my weight in Taco Bell today, so there's that. Have you guys seen on that same topic? There's a video out there from Brian Shaw, who's a American strongman competitor, and he has a video where he went to Taco Bell and ordered every single thing on the menu and ate it. I can't imagine wanting to ever eat Taco Bell again after doing that. Absolutely insane. The kid choice got my attention. Makes sense based on what we've been hearing from you. However, I'm noticing paint starting to get short in the market. Which paints, Gunplay U, are getting short? We got a restock shipment of Vallejo Mecha stuff. Came in yesterday, I want to say. I still got to go through it, obviously, but that will be on the list to do early next week to get that stuff restocked and added to fill in colors that we've been out of stock on and stuff, or low on. Just as build, I miss work. Probably never thought you'd say that, or maybe you would. Maybe you love what you do. I kind of work from home anyway, even with my other stuff that I've done other than the dojo. But I've been so distracted with Mecha Warehouse that my clients are probably just like, where the hell has this guy been? Then we're doing well. Quarantine with the family, trying to stay busy with kit building, online role playing, whip building, pen turning. Cool. But then no luck on chisels either. I wanted to get chisels. I was about to talk to the manufacturer that makes BMC chisels, and they were worried about their own supply, let alone trying to get stuff to me. So they had to tell me to wait, which is a pain. Primarily use Mr. Color paints. I'll be looking back at those. I think our one of our distributors at least still has some, so I'll probably be looking at those again in the next week or two. Josh, no shortage over here. Monday Buzz. Okay, chat. Any tips on what you paint your beam rifles or any other guns? I'm using the Tamiya gunmetal with the Newland oil wash. It's a nice build. I very much love my job. It's kind of low stress. What do you do, Justinius, when you're not building gunpla or shooting videos and such? Winning IPMS competitions. Monday Buzz, because I was curious about what Mr. Color Black Graphite, about that Mr. Color Black Graphite for weapons. I can't really comment Mr. Color stuff. I haven't used any of the Mr. Color paints myself. Just in his builds, I'm a school photographer. It's probably the coolest job I've ever had. Interesting. So you basically go around all the different schools when it's time to do school photos and stuff. It's an interesting job. Complete University. I've used a few different colors for guns. Alcat Steel, GN, Start Bright Iron, Mr. Color Super Iron 2 are the ones I've tried. You look at some of these other paint lines and getting those in the shop too. Just in his build year round to get a little break from late December till like mid-January, but where all systems go the rest of the year. And where I live, we actually service the largest number of schools. That's cool. It's great when you can love what you do. Good Zen, I wish I'd gotten back this month sooner. Would have been much easier to find stuff. Yeah, definitely points out how valuable it is to have your backlog squared away in case you happen to have more time on your hands. So it's built out of our office, so there's a lot of work to go around. Cool. Gunpla University, LCAT is my ish. Mark D, I just ordered my first kit in years. Is there a reference I can view to see what color schemes I need for the kit prior to getting it? If you look up the manual, I think there's a few different places online where you can find the manuals and stuff. You can probably find the color keys and stuff. Which kit are you? Did you just order? G2. No one finds our Bible source. A PMC chisel pre-forward my way. About to pay a finder's fee. We'll have them at some point, man. I just don't know when. With the whole shipping situation out of Japan right now. It's a killer. Toss a runner. Deck 9 is a catalog of color guides translating, but there you go. That's a good resource then. Astray Blue, nice. The hard part is I wish there was a good chart for like converting to things other than Mr. Color. Because they're definitely, you know, every paint manufacturer has their own shades and stuff. Which isn't a problem necessarily, other than if you really want to match a color perfectly, you're SOL. Funko Cop, what's up? Oh, that'd be awesome, man, if you've got a chart. I remember when I painted my Leo, I was looking around forever trying to find some way to kind of convert. And I ended up just picking a color. That seemed to look good, and it came out fine, but sometimes you really want to match like the standard colors. Then I almost broke down and ordered some cheap generic chisels on eBay, but just decided to wait. Yeah, that's tough. Hack Curios. Hey guys, what's going on? What's up, Alvin? How you been doing, man? Busy or what? I feel like I haven't seen you much. Monday buskers or God hand nippers really worth it? Do they really not leave stress marks? They do leave stress marks, but they're so much better than cheap nippers. So I don't know if I can. The piece I just did. You can kind of see where that nub mark is there. You can see there's a very slight line, like right over there, but it's pretty good. Like cheap nippers definitely will leave a much more obvious mark. But you still have to be careful, and if you really want something to look good, you gotta still should cut a little bit further away and sand all the way down. Assuming you're not lazy like me. Heck, yeah, I've been busy trying to build here and there. I hear you. I feel like this whole COVID thing has put people into two separate groups. There's those of us who have way more free time on our hands than we did because we can't work for obvious reasons. And then there's people that are way busier because they have all the stuff that they were doing before, and they're, homeschooling their kids and all the other stuff that gets added on top. I feel like I'm in that case. I feel so much busier than I was. But I'm not going to complain all that much about it because it's a good kind of busy, I think. The opportunity definitely did something good for me, so I'm going to keep riding that wave and just be thankful for it. Because I kind of got lucky in all this, so... Our YouTube's really popping tonight. Alright, getting there on this waist unit. One more back skirt. Get the legs on there, get the side skirts in, and move on to the next section. That said, I do feel like I could use a vacation. Ended up missing out on that 2 weeks off I was going to have. My trip to Japan that had to get canceled. Bummer. But... Nice. I feel like I've got this sigh of relief for finishing, bringing all of these boxes up to my attic, inventorying everything that came in, getting it all up on the website, and it basically just means I've got more stuff on the site, so people will purchase more stuff, and I'll have to pack that many more orders over the next week or whatever, as everybody sees stuff they've been waiting for get restocked and stuff. No rest for the wicked. The hack that hurts. LL trips like that. Getting canceled just sucks. Yeah. I mean, at least I got my money back. That would have been way worse to not get those plane tickets back. 15 viewers. Got a little, might be a record here for YouTube at least. I think I've done more when I was on Twitch for certain special events, but that's not bad for doing a crazy charity stream or something. Just doing this. Well, my friends are calling for me. Cool hanging out, Nick. I'll try to get you that chart the next few days. That'd be great, man. I really appreciate it. Have a great night, man. A question for the group. How many of you guys follow the direction order to the letter when you're building versus building different sections in different orders? I feel like I follow mostly the same order, although when I can put different sections together ahead of time, I often will. Well, I might be doing that less the more builds I do. I just don't think I care as much. Not as eager to see the end. Josh, yes, and no. Kevin Lee. Me never. Hey, Kevin, what's up, dude? Yeah, well, you do like what, one leg at a time and stuff, and make your kids do all sorts of weird, whatchamacallit, yoga and stuff. Monday, bus coverage, follow the instructions to the letter. Complete university, build arms and legs at the same time, even though they're frequently in their own sections. If anytime there's a 2x, I definitely will build both of those pieces at the same time for that step before moving on. One pair usually follow the order, but I'll deviate if it's logical, like paint apart before assembly. Makes sense. Burst and start from the beginning. Also makes sense. Big Bear. It's my first build. I'm trying to stick to the manual for now. It's definitely good the first couple builds. You want to follow it as closely as you can until you know what things you can ignore safely or why things are done in an order, because sometimes you can justify doing it differently. I feel like most of the problems I have with almost anything is when I refuse to follow the instructions on something. Alright, we got the front and back skirts on. Bust until I get more confident with building. I've only built 3 kits in my life, so I still follow the instructions. The instructions are good even when you've built a lot of them. I've heard of people completely throwing away the instructions basically, but I think that's not a smart idea unless you've built hundreds of kits. But then my AC was out for a week until a couple days ago. Didn't get much done when it was 85 plus inside. I caught up on things. I'm going to get buildings just starting again. I follow instructions. Makes sense. AKA IKEA furniture. Yeah. Last thing you want to do is assemble your IKEA furniture halfway and find out that you missed something important. Ends up the same way. There's certain things you put them together the wrong way before you get things the right way, and it's a bitch to take parts back apart. Speaking of IKEA furniture, I got some details in this week. My son needed a desk for his room. My wife wanted to get him a desk, so that meant we were going to place an order anyway, so the shipping per item for that, you know, drop off freight shipping or whatever was not too bad. A lot better than it would have been just buying a pair of Detolfs on their own, so kind of excited about that. But at my current rate of how busy I am, I won't have time to put them together until sometime in like 2030 or something, but we'll get there eventually. Maybe I should do a Detolf live stream next week. And build some display cases live on stream. Complar design way better. I don't know, man. I bet if Bandai made furniture that had polycaps in the furniture, and if IKEA made Gunpla, they would have those little like bolt hooky things that connect them together or whatever. I can just see it now. You get your DTOF and all the joints are polycaps if it were a Bandai display case. Dylan, what grit are you using? So I've got, let me see if I can find my little cheat sheet here. Here it is right in front of me. So I start with 400, then 600, 1000, and 1500 are the four that I'm cycling through here. I'd say Kia is better than pre-2000s gunplay instructions. It's probably true. But to be fair, you'd have to compare like pre-2000s IKEA instructions. Was IKEA around back then? Wicked Zen, haven't done other models and tabletop miniatures for years. I really enjoy how gunpla are designed and snap together. They definitely, most of them are really nice, especially the newer ones. They've definitely got some interesting and cool ways of putting them together. They busk. If IKEA made gunpla, they'd all come with an Allen key. That is definitely true. Imagine how many Allen keys would all have sitting around then. I'm like building furniture out actually. I put together a new packing station on Friday. That was enough for me. The worst part of that one was getting everything upstairs. You got a 6 foot by almost 3 foot wide by like, I don't know, 1.5 inch thick piece of wood for the top surface, and then metal legs and stringers and shells, and I am not looking forward to having to get that out of here at some point. Dylan Perry, I apologize for the order I'm about to make. You have to package up. Don't worry about it, man. If I can survive that weekend sale we had a couple weeks ago, then I'm pretty sure I can survive whatever you throw at me now. Let's hope I can survive what my wife throws at me. Yes, that is important. We'll make sure you survive. Repeat customers are good. You can only be a repeat customer if your wife doesn't kill you for what you order. I have once or twice had people ask me to send them an email. Should I say this in public? Yeah, I guess I can. Send me an email saying that they're on a contest or something. I did that once. That was one of the guy had said just label it not Gunpla, Nick. For the Mecha Warehouse Choose Me giveaway that we did last year. One of the winners, he needed a little bit of air cover or something, so I wrote in big letters in Sharpie on the box, not a Gundam. Just to throw the wife off of the trail. Doing my part. I don't know what happened to that guy. Yeah, I forget which one that was. I should go look. We gave away so much stuff for that giveaway. Monday bus caught. My wife is happy that I've taken up a hobby. Well, that's good. Good Zen. I have sandpaper. Kevin Lee heading out to exercise with the family. See you later, Kevin. Enjoy that exercise. That'll be Mecha Warehouse's next expansion area. We'll have to start offering Mecha Warehouse branded quarantine workouts. Gunpla fitness videos. Anyway, back to Wicked Zen. I have sandpaper 400 to 3,000 grit and micro mesh pads 1,500 to 12,000 that I use for pen turning that I use. So what's pen turning? Is that like making like a custom pen or something? I'm picturing like a lathe or something, but I could be completely making that up. Good time my wife has her own things, paint, canvas, brushes, so she can't complain. That's good. Website is busy tonight too. All right, so I got side skirts. Yes, wood and acrylic custom pens on a lathe. I am quite proud of myself for putting that together. Really? You saw that, right? Exactly what pen turning is, using a lathe on a wood block. That's cool. All right, got legs, the body, got to put together the midsection, and then next is the active cloak. XA12 and C119. You broke it. Oh, yeah. Whoops. My fine motor skills have been out the window. I don't think it's fatigue. I also really need to trim my hair and beard. I feel like a freaking mountain man over here. Has this camera been facing down at my... Jeez, I suck. One of these days I need to try painting these little dudes too. That runner is done. Done and done. Wicked Zen, because of the pen turning, I also got a pressure pot for silicone mold and resin casting, as well as pen blanks. I made some custom gaming dice for myself. That is really cool. Weighted, of course, right? Beard cam. Yeah, that's... I didn't even realize it was pointing down. I have to like break down my camera setup here and my microphone multiple times per week because I use the same stuff for teaching karate classes on Zoom. I really should just buy a second camera and mic, I guess. I mean, the beard is getting big, but I need to trim that sucker up. It's getting kind of annoying. Your guy did better than me right now. You're making it look easy. Thank you, Big Bear. Been streaming long enough that I guess I got a hang of most of this stuff. And when I could stop after like 2 hours of streaming as opposed to being at it for like 10 hours straight like last December, this feels pretty easy. I need suggestions for a ridiculous quarantine build. Not quarantine build. Blah. Charity build. Charity live stream build. Last December I built the entire Maganac core, all 40 Maganac HGs, and the Sandrock HG to go with it over the course of like 2 to 3 days. I'd like to do something similar, I think, this coming December maybe. Although I suppose I could do one nearly any time, but that week between Christmas and New Year seems to be a good time to do something like that. For me, at least. We could send it to putting overfly together. I tried switching it to flight mode. Stuff was falling off left and right. I hate transforming kits. I always keep them in just the normal Gundam form because they always have problems when you transform them. I mean, it ends up carrying over to it being not transformed. It ends up affecting things. Ian Johnson, what's up? What's up? Hey, Ian, what's going on, man? Have we done heavy arms yet? I have done heavy arms. I've got all the Wing EW master grades, except for this one I haven't built until now that I'm working on, and I think just the regular Wing EW I have to do. There we go. If you go to my personal Instagram page, you can see pretty much all my builds are on there at nick.savery on Instagram. This is where I post all my personal stuff, everything I build. Heavy arms is a nice build. I've got the E-Gel Unit 2 version of heavy arms that I want to build at some point, but I want to put that one off a little ways until I get more of my painting stuff figured out. I want to stencil on some stylistic digital camo on that one and do some cool stuff to it. But I really don't want to screw that one up, so that'll probably wait a little bit. And back to the polycaps. I thought the transforming aspect would be cool, but just going to stay in normal mode for sure. It seems to be the trend with any transforming kit I have ever heard of. I'm pretty sure most of them end up... Transformations are hard in general, but they often result in bad joints or weaker joints, like all the like the Wing Zero and Epion and stuff like that. Like, they're not that bad, but it depends. Some of like the shoulders and stuff end up looser because of the way they have extra range of motion for things, which is just a pain if you don't ever plan on transforming it. Like, it's cool that you can do it, but if you're gonna get this whole Gundam and stuff, why are you gonna have it sit in that mode? I want to display it you know, as the Gundam, not as the flight bird mode or whatever. Then the HG Farmer, Destroy Mode, Unicorn, RG, Crossbow X2. We're going to do a few other kits before I do them. Cool. Those are definitely not my backlog. My backlog's pretty big at this point, but trying not to add too much stuff to it. I ended up snagging a high-grade Moon Gundam, mostly because we got a shipment in and there was one that had a dinged up box. I was like, well, rather than try to discount this for somebody, I'll just put it in my backlog because I've been waiting to get hold of one for a while. I might end up getting a real grade new Gundam the same way. Guy is standing right in the way of my hands. I'm like hiding everything I'm doing. Didn't even notice. I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like everybody has that kit or two they really want to do because it's one of their favorite mobile suits or Gundams or whatever. But it was either an expensive P Bandai kit or a master grade or something, or even just, you know, high grade, but it was the one that they really wanted to build, they really like, but they're like afraid to build it because they don't think they're good enough to build it yet. I want to make sure they do a really good job on it. Anyone else have that kit on their backlog that they don't want to build because they don't feel like they're ready for it yet? Perry ordered that Big Boy Perfect Grade ARC 78-2 from you a week ago. I'm dying to get them together, but nervous. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those kind of kits. Perfect Grades are probably perfect examples of that because they're not inexpensive kits. For me, most high grades are like not a big deal because they tend to be fairly cheap. That's one of the reasons I like the Leo. It's like you screw up a Leo, it's like $11, $12. Who cares? But a perfect grade or a master grade Verka or any of those really nice kits, or even some master grades for that matter. Complete Diversity. I have like 10 kits in backlog like that right now. You know, so that's up. Original's my all-time favorite. Dylan Perry. Backseat Politician, I got plenty, but if I had to pick one, it'd be the Perfect Grade Strike Kit. Second one would have to be a P Bandai Tall Geese 3 when it comes out. I feel like I say this almost every week, but I am dying for them to re-release all the P Bandai Master Grades from the Wing line now that P Bandai USA exists. I think they'll do it. I hope they'll do it. Just don't know. Ian Johnson, haha. Strike Freedom PG for me. Money boss for me, it's the Moon Gundam. I bought it as my first kit, but wanted to practice on a few easier HD kits before I take it out on the Moon Gundam. That one for me is still in the price range where it's not that bad to just replace it if you screw it up bad. But I mean, I don't blame you. It's a nice looking kit. You want it to look good if you're gonna do it. It's that perennial trade-off of just do it. And I don't know, it's that confidence thing. I'd say it's probably a lot like a lot of business stuff. A lot of people think they want to start a business and then they sit on it and never actually go for it. To which I recommend, if you have plans to start a business, just go for it. I mean, do your due diligence, but if you're not going to lose your house doing it, you should try it. Big Bear, looking forward to get my hands on RG 144th. Oh, excuse me. Zaku Mine Lair. Backseat Politician, if they do, I would buy a lot of those kits. Same. I would buy any of those Wing P Bandai Master Grades. I'd probably end up grabbing at least 2 of each one, maybe more. You know, one to build and one to sock away for a rainy day. I'm afraid that'd be sick. I never got one of those kits. Yeah, I don't want to buy them at the full price either, or not the full price, but at the inflated secondhand market price. I've actually started becoming quite accustomed to paying less than retail because I get all my stuff at wholesale. So Wicked Zen, I have a HG Brute, Asteroid Gold Frame, and Transient Glacier before I tackle the Unicorn RGX2. Excuse me. I need like caffeine or something. I'm getting ridiculous yawns here. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. Jeez. Okay, right side. I-15. Where is I? Where is I? Wicked Zenos. I was thinking of doing some 30-minute missions. I was looking at the Port Nova and the Sealed Nova. Yeah, I keep getting tempted. Especially we got a bunch of those in the restock we just got in, including the space type. I think looks pretty cool, and especially like the ground type. Those ones look pretty sweet. There's a lot of potential there. Big Barrel, that's why I buy from you, because your prices are pretty decent. That's the plan. I try to be competitive on everything. I think our prices tend to be more competitive the bigger the kit, just so we've got enough margin on smaller kits when we ship, because sometimes our shipping is cost more than what we charge, but there's definitely some more expensive places out there to get kits from. That space type is cool looking. Yeah. I think those special parts and stuff are pretty cool. I've been tempted to grab one. I just know I won't get a chance to build one for a while, so I figured I'd wait, grab one later when my backlog isn't so deep. I feel like I'm constantly adding to my backlog faster than I can build, so I have to get that in check. Maybe get ahead of it a little bit and work my backlog down. Okay, PC 11. Big honkin' ring here. I think everybody was just here for my beard. I moved the camera up to my face and the viewer count dropped a little bit. Apparently the beard cam was the way to go. Whoops. That makes my wife happy. It's funny. She also for the beard cam. That's where Wicked Zen. That's where I'm at. I want more, but I got several to build. But those are the expensive side, and little add-on kits are cheap. Yep. I like overdid the backlog early on in the whole Mecha Warehouse thing with one of my first orders back before I even had the website, and it was called Mecha Warehouse. I was selling on Amazon. And I got a bunch of kits that were gated. Dylan Perry Beard Stream brought in the viewers. That's it. I thought it was all a fluke, but I guess it's not. It's all just the beard. But yeah, so early Mecha Warehouse days, back before it was called Mecha Warehouse, before the website existed, I was basically buying kits from another source in Japan and selling them on Amazon. And the how do I put it? A bunch of these kits I bought, I basically bought some of my early inventory based on what I wouldn't be unhappy with if I got stuck with it. Like, oh, that's a cool kit. If I can't sell it for some reason, then I'll just keep it. Was my game plan. And so a bunch of things were gated by Amazon, so you couldn't sell it without permission. And so I was just like, what the hell? I'll just throw it all in my backlog. So I ended up adding like 15 kits to my backlog in one shot. And that kind of put me in a behind in the count. I don't think I'll ever catch up fully. Interesting. This active cloak thing is definitely a different way of putting things together, that's for sure. I4 and 6. Perry using God hand nippers. Yes, I am. God hand nippers are definitely my little logo, my personal go-to. I want to carry them in the shop. I talked to somebody from God hand, I don't know, a month or two back, and they were not able to take on new customers or something at that time, so I have to find another distributor I can get them from or something. And then all this Corona crap happened and my free time went out the window, so I've been slacking on that. Then a bunch of other stuff I want to add to the store. I really should be looking at Kotobukiya stuff again in more detail. A lot of different tool manufacturers I should be trying to carry. I ordered a pair of those entry ones you have in the shop. How are those? So I've only used them once, and by used, I really mean more like my son used them, and they seemed good enough. They're definitely no God hands, which makes sense considering that God hands are like $60 to $70 most places, and you know, the entry ones are like $7-8, so there's definitely a difference. But I think for a first pair of nippers, I think they're fine. They're not too bad. I mean, ultimately, most tools, it tends to be you get what you pay for the most part, in my experience. If you really want high-end stuff, you got to pay high-end prices. There's usually just some sort of line. Like, most people probably get away fine with $20 to $30 nippers and not $60 to $70 nippers, but it's all like personal taste and preference. That might be the other thing I miss about this whole quarantine lockdown thing. I really would love to go to my chiropractor. Just doesn't seem worth it right now. I figured if you get some God hands, I'm glad to get a pair off you. I work for a telecom company, so I have some precision nippers from work. Want something a little more precise. Yeah, I hear the Xuron ones we hear are pretty good. I haven't used those ones before. One of our customers, I don't know if he's still in here, Josh. If you're still around, you can chime in. You were the one that recommended that I grab the Xurons in the first place. Those are supposed to be a little bit better. They're probably more mid-range. We definitely need more options in that regard. We got the entry ones, which have been really popular. It's good to have a nice cheap pair of nippers available for somebody just getting into the hobby that doesn't really want to commit to buying a tool that costs the same as 2 or 3 kits. They're a little on the small side. They're great for kids, so it's not a bad idea to have a cheap pair of nippers. You can, if you ever upgrade, to keep the cheap ones around, either for cutting stuff off the runners or something you can hand off to a kid or friend if you ever introduce somebody to the hobby. That's basically why I ended up pulling a pair for my son, because I wasn't about to let my 6-year-old touch the god hands, knowing how rough he is with everything he touches. Big Bear, I just bought one today. Bought the, which one did you buy, Big Bear? If there's enough going on, I'm losing track. Entry level, Zurons, God Hands, something else. I'm coming back to Gunpla after a 12-year hiatus. I'm back and strong. Wife has been supportive. Wow, man, that's cool. Is the whole Corona thing bringing you back, or did you start getting back into it beforehand? Seems like a lot of people have been jumping back into the hobby, or jumping into it in the first place, with this whole quarantine business going on. People have more free time on their hands. Interesting to see how many people stick with it as things open back up. Seems like a good time to pick up a hobby, and a good thing to do, to not be, I don't know, on the computer all the time. I think if I didn't have the business and Gunpla and stuff, I'd probably be playing video games or something all day, if I were out of work. Corona Hell does have a couple weeks off where I have to de-stress. Then pretty much my situation and back because of quarantine. One of the good things to come out of it, I guess, people coming back to old hobbies, starting up new ones. Hyundai Bus. My local hobby shop has said they've been busier than ever since the quarantine. People are definitely looking for ways to occupy the time. Definitely sounds true. I've heard puzzle shops. People are buying puzzles like crazy too. I imagine any sort of relatively solo activity like that probably has become super popular now. Dylan Perry had been eyeing it since last summer. Local hobby shop started carrying some kits, and I found you on Instagram. Nice. Well, glad we could help. University, me and my other half built together. Yeah, that's cool. I think I'm gonna kind of force my wife to build something. She's been helping with the stocking stuff and carrying boxes up and down for me and stuff, so I say force. I'm trying to kind of reward her and help her get an appreciation for the hobby that she has been helping me with the store for, but Goods unfortunately my local store is mostly about card games and Warhammer 40k. It seems like every hobby store has its like specialty, right? Some of those like hobby towns and stuff end up being all about the RC cars, and some are all about trains. Sorry about that. I've got him there pretty much like meh. It sounds like a lot of hobby shops. They're either in it or not. Hey, Busky, you got any nice plan for Mother's Day? Hopefully my wife can't hear. I'm gonna whisper this. Just gonna plan on taking the kids out of the house. That's what I plan on doing. Disappearing for a couple hours. Because she has not had a break by herself for any extended period of time. So if I can take both kids and disappear for 2 hours, I'm sure she'll love that. K5 and K8. Sweet. One of these big mammoth jammas over here. Dylan Perry, same here. They do a lot of MTG and 40k. I'm a big fan of the storyline video games of 40k, but Gundam was my first love since I first saw it in Toonami back in the day. Tsunami was my intro too. I was into 40K around the same time though. But that definitely kind of faded off. You definitely need like a local community of people to really play 40K at least. You can kind of build and paint without it, but if you don't have people or a place to go play on the reg, it's kind of not the same. It's the best gift ever right now. That's what I was thinking. Super simple to do, but I think would be super appreciated. So I need to go take a run over to the dojo anyway and see what's going on over there so I can grab both the kids and make sure the place hasn't burned down. Let them run around a little bit. Ted used to play Orcs and Dark Elder, but been playing Dust 1947. Previously Dust Tactics and selling 40K stuff. I've never heard of Dust. That's another tabletop mini game. Dylan Parrott never got into the game itself, but the story is fascinating. I've been playing 40K Martyr quite a bit lately. Yeah, I always thought the story was cool. I was a Space Marine player. My brother that was an Orc player. Definitely don't want to cut those off. Those are not nubs. That one is. 1947 setting where Axis discovered alien tech, soldiers, mechs, tanks, planes, zombies, smart apes. Main factions Axis, Allies, SSU, and now IJN and Cthulhu. Sounds pretty crazy. I'm losing confidence I'm going to finish the wings today. How did I not get through more than this? I just had a couple skirt pieces. It's all this distraction from all these people on here. Doing far more talking on these streams than I used to. That's pretty cool though. At some point I kind of want to get back into miniature painting. I think that might be cool when I've got more time. I really wanted to get into like being into Japanese culture and samurai and all that stuff, and I think it was Dixon was the name of the company that made some cool samurai miniatures that I thought would be pretty cool to build and paint up. Oh. Yeah, I think I had to find them online from some like British store or something. I haven't tried buying any of those Dixon miniatures. I remember seeing them and thinking that they looked good. I feel like I hangnail's like bleeding. I'm putting so much pressure onto this thing trying to get it together. Yowza. Gonna bleed all over my kit. Probably with the middle part here, basically. Let's try to at least finish out this step. Maybe I'll do one more. 9, 10, and 11 off of the eye runner. Whew, I'm definitely slowing down. I'm getting tired. Hopefully I can get caught up a little bit. Dylan, how's the decals in this kit? I'm about to go cross-eyed trying to get them on my builds. So I bought some Delpy decal water slides for this one. I always do water slides when I do decals on my builds. So I imagine they'll be like any of the other Delpy decals I've done so far. I don't think they're that bad. I just literally got the last decal on my Epion last night, so I have to top coat that one soon, but let's try to do that soon. I can get that completely crossed off my list here before long. I think I need to replace, yeah, I think my sanding stuff is all done. Working through. I'm really trying to get my number of like in process builds down. I've got Epion I just finished. Decals got a top coat. Got the gloss coat. Sandrock. And then put decals on that guy. And what else? Oh, what am I going to work on tomorrow during the... some prep work on that Leo maybe. Got like a bunch of stuff like half done, half started. I need to work on getting that list of half finished stuff a little bit smaller. Baxi Politicianist. I got a MG Epion a few days ago. I might build that next. It was a pretty good build. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad. Just did all the decals. Wicked Zen. If you don't paint but do decals, should you still top coat? I do. So I usually... My process when I'm not painting, which has been most of my builds so far, getting into painting more and more as time goes on here. But with my unpainted builds, like this one here, I'll snap it, sand, panel line, and then I gloss coat. After the gloss coat, I do water slides, and then I will matte coat. And like I had mentioned earlier, if you check out my Instagram pages, I think my personal Instagram, which is at Nick.Savery, I think that works out pretty well. You get a decent looking result usually from it. I think the matte coat really takes away the plasticky look, but the gloss coat really helps the decals just slide a little bit better, I think, especially if they're going anywhere near where you might have sanded. Help kind of fill in those imperfections and such. It's probably not 100% necessary, but I do it. I think it's worthwhile. Baxi Politician got a RG RX-70 Mark II AEUG. Those seem to be pretty popular. We actually just got the 178 Mark II Titans Master Grade in 2.0. I haven't seen that one a whole lot until this order, so I think that's pretty cool. I've got an AEUG one. AEUG. If I can talk. I feel like the gloss coat only helps the water slides if it's a painted kit personally, but I also do a matte coat at the end. So I've never done it without actually a couple universities, so you could be right there. It might not actually be worth it. I feel like though with the sanding, if you have decals anywhere near where the sanding is, that could be an issue. Is that where this goes? Interesting. So If you don't sand any nubs, it definitely would be fine. Or I guess if you sand it at a high enough grit, it'd probably be fine too. But like I said, I haven't tried without it. I feel like it gives me a decent result when I do it, and it gives me another layer of protection on most of the kit. Ugh. Might be wrapping up soon here. I feel like I'm hitting a wall mentally. I've been really tired. I'd like to finish it, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm worried because I've heard people talking about these wings before. Complete first, yeah, I'd probably need to take it to at least 1,000 or 2,000, yeah. So what's amazing is there's so many different ways to do a lot of the same stuff, right? There's so many, you know, oh, I do this way, or you do it that way, and everybody's good. Well, it's half about finishing this, and it's half about making sure I don't completely ignore my wife. How many pieces are left here? It's so close. Maybe I'll try another step. A little bit further since I'm being urged along here. Rispin Moon down. I'm working on perfect grade. Got a unicorn I bought from you recently. Welcome to the stream if you've been lurking or just showed up. How's the perfect grade unicorn been treating you? Dropping stuff. What am I even doing? K3. Big Bear, Night Nick, you take it easy, man. Later. See you later, dude. Thank you for hanging out. Nice chatting with you and stuff. Seeing you. I'll be back. I do this every Saturday night. And you should also check out that link about virtual community events. We do the Zoom builds. Next one is tomorrow at 3 Eastern in the afternoon. That is also a really good time. Respite Moon down. The lighting kit is a bit of a fun complication. Nice. I'm sure it'll look great when it's all done, though. I kind of want to try doing some like custom LED lighting in a kit one of these days. Been thinking about whether Mecha Warehouse should introduce its own lighting product of some sort. Some sort of fancy LED lighting controller or something. One, two, and four. Where's four? There we go. Respite Moon down, I'm blind on one eye, so Gunpla is one of my few hobbies I can still do. Sorry to hear about that, man. Kind of sucks. But I guess it's good that you got one eye that's still good. So you're not completely out. That's still no fun though. University. Oh, I looked up because I thought you pulled out a bag of chips or something. There you go. I gotta start doing more like quirky stuff. You know, we got the burnt beard cam earlier, and I don't know. I should just start eating stuff at random. So, Perry, you have a Discord server. Mecha Warehouse does. So, if you've made a purchase from Mecha Warehouse, you should get an email, or should have got an email. And in that email would be the invite for the Discord server. If you have made a purchase and you didn't get that email with that invite, you can feel free to reach out to me, whether by email or Instagram, Twitter, you know, whatever works for you, and I can help get you squared away. Got an awesome little community of customers and stuff. Really supportive. People sharing tips and tricks and sharing what they're working on. Discussing kits, all that good stuff. I feel like it's one of the best things about Mecha Warehouse, actually. It all kind of happened by accident a ways back, but it's been growing a lot lately. All the new customers we've picked up over the last few weeks, with everybody flocking to the hobby, so it's been awesome. We usually have some special stuff going on over there. We just finished up Discord only build contest. Just a little something to encourage people to experiment and try new techniques. When we have damaged inventory and stuff that came in, and I'm too lazy to work on trying to send it back to the distributor. We'll often put it up for sale, a discount on there. And usually this is a lot of insider information. You'll know about what's coming to the shop usually before anybody else will know. So it's good for a lot of reasons. Found it nice. I'll look forward to seeing you over there then. I had a discussion with some people relatively recently, and I think one of the cool things that somebody brought up was the fact that the Discord that we have, it's like, it's no BS. We don't do any of the, we don't have like hidden areas you gotta like post X number of times or any of that lame leveling stuff to encourage people to get into a pissing contest over who can type the most messages into a chat client. It's just about helping each other, learning, and enjoying the hobby. One of my intents when I started Mecha Warehouse was to try to create that online store with the online convenience that that a lot of local shops don't necessarily have, because you got to go to the shop, but to have that local shop feel, like a lot of shops that have like build nights and stuff like that. So I think we're doing a pretty good job of trying to achieve that between having the Discord and building that community for our customers, and the virtual Zoom build nights get you kind of the same thing as a build night without having to even leave your house, which is nice when it's late at night or you're in the middle of a pandemic and can't leave your house. So I've got this piece now. So I'm very glad I have a couple community I interact with now. I don't know anyone local that does it in my area. And that's kind of what I felt too when I got into this. I think there are some little local groups and stuff, but for me, I'm always busy. I've always got something going on, and to try to make it to some other in-person event somewhere is just really tough. but having that way to interact with people in a convenient way is nice. I mean, I've learned so much from trying to build that community and bringing some awesome builders together. It's been great. You can kind of get something from it, whether you're brand new or if you've been at it for a while. I've got a really good group of helpful people there. Respin Moon down. I'll send you some pics when I get this beast done. That'd be awesome, man. I'd love to see it. My name is Wolf. I'm in the home stretch to finish this RX-78. Just a waste of weapons. Great. Like the best and worst place to be is the home stretch. I feel like I start making mistakes because I want to be done. I see the finish line and start rushing. K1 and K7. Universe Amina has that issue of wanting to rush at the final line. I try to get her to build the weapons first because of it. That might be the way to go. So I was trying to put this down until you encouraged me to keep going. I still have a feeling I'm not going to get all the way there, but we'll see. Should almost be worse because I'll be that much closer to the end. University. Oh, my dad, man, you're doing great. You're streaming for both of us since I didn't stream tonight. Maybe that's why I'm doing good, because you didn't fatigue everybody who's out there. They're not streamed out because you didn't stream before me. At first I thought it was putting the email out, and then it was the beard cam, but I guess it's I guess that's it. I have a hard time judging how far along I am. Z, it's actually an X, Xuron, Xuron. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like the XUR410T, I think is the one we have in stock from them. I've never used them myself, so I'm a little bit reserved about recommending them just because I don't have personal experience. But I've had people say that they make some good tools. Dylan came for the beard, stayed for the gunplay. I have to start working my beard then if I'm going to use the beard to lure people in. The university might do one tomorrow, but I had to cut the grass today. Don't remind me. I really need to start mowing my lawn. Trying to get a hold of the guy I've been using to do like maintenance and stuff for my lawn tractor, but he seems to have completely fallen off the face of the earth. I always have a hard time judging how long a number of steps is going to take in a build. Still at it, even with Mother's Day tomorrow. Yeah, I blame Jared. Looking real good. Thank you, man. Unless, of course, Mecha Warehouse starts carrying them. Start carrying what? Monday. Talking about the Xurons, we do carry them. I'm hesitant to recommend things that we carry even if I've never used them or don't have enough data. I know I've seen people recommend them pretty heavily, or at least one person recommend them pretty heavily. Okay, I should just make the sprint for it. INK, I. Yeah, we carry them. I don't recommend things on a personal level unless they're good, or at least unless I would recommend them. I've heard good things about them, but I'm not about to tell you the be all end all because I've never used them. One of these days, I want to really do a shootout of all the nippers that are on the market. Both working pretty well, like normal conditions, and then abuse the hell out of all of them and see if I can destroy them all. And had a nice stream tonight, man. Looking pretty fun here for a while. Yeah, it's been good. I mean, the low points have been like 8-9 viewers, I think. We had, I think, 15 at peak. I'm sure it'll tell me when it's over. It'll give me the stats or whatever, but very active. We've had a very active chat in here too. It's been good. Been a good stream for sure. Still super glad I moved it over from Twitch. You start looking back into like restream or whatever and streaming it in multiple places, but I mean, at one point when it was active, when we had like those 15 people all chatting in here, it was hard to keep up with everything people were saying. I think one of these days I want to do, when I get around to figuring out exactly how to do it, how I want to set it up, I'm going to do like a guest stream and have somebody on and like interview them while we're building or something. I keep meaning to do that, but I gotta find somebody and get all the technical infrastructure sorted out. Complete verse. I actually just similar video nippers. I want to do an update too. Yeah, like that kind of thing. I want to do. Maybe I should just pay someone to do it. I don't know. I want to destroy nippers though. Everybody complains about God hands breaking, and I want to see exactly how much you have to abuse them to break them, because I feel like the majority of the instances, excepting of course when somebody, you know, drops them on the tip, that they're probably just using them incorrectly. I'm also gonna do I have some plans to do some cool videos regarding packaging. I want to do some very destructive packaging tests to see what happens. I think my next big plan though is going to be a warehouse tour. So many knobs. There we go. Dylan, I'm a social butterfly. And Johnson, just wait till you blow up and have to follow a chat with a few hundred people. Yeah. Oh man. I think I'm not following a chat with several hundred people when it gets there. I think that's when those features come up to like highlight messages and, I don't know, somebody reading messages to me or something so I could still build at the same time. I'll figure that out when I get there. Respin, moon down. That moment when you wonder why a panel isn't fitting and realize you forgot an undergate. Yeah. That's not fun. Forgetting stuff's the worst. When I use Citadel nips, how do they do in terms of nub marks and stuff? I would imagine that nub marks aren't as big a deal in the world that Citadel is going for. They just want a clean cut, but which I imagine is basically the same thing. But they're not worried about how the plastic looks. They're worried about whether it's going to look fine after being painted. Polish it back with a file and do pretty good. I think you can get good result even with crappy nippers for that same reason if you do everything else right. Good nippers definitely help make it easier. But they don't necessarily replace good technique. Almost there. Think about a mow tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully the weather's good enough for it. It actually snowed today here, believe it or not. I woke up to snow flurries. No accumulation, but it was definitely snowing. It was freaking crazy. It's May, for God's sake. And that was really windy all afternoon. Which made my dump run to get rid of all of that gunpla cardboard. Huge pain in the ass. Must been when I used to play 40k, so they became like gunpla nips when I couldn't play anymore. Makes sense. Use what you got. Why buying your nips if the ones you got work fine? Wicked sound for the HD overflag I just built. I used some cheap Play-Doh nippers, so much time on cleanup. I've never even heard of Play-Doh nippers. So that must not be a good sign, I guess. How do they compare to Aristotle nippers? Is that where this is going? I can tell I'm cognitively beaten down. It took me a while to come up with that one. Like 5 to 8, have them for doing paracord. You are a international man of mystery. And your pen turning and your apparently you make like paracord things or something. Alright, I think this is the last piece other than the beam scissors, the scythe. Last two pieces here. Put this sucker on, call it good. Go get some sleep. Beautiful, beautiful sleep. Most guy Play-Doh nippers that came with my cheap Amazon beginner modeling tools kit. They're pretty meh. We could send very meh. On a scale of 1 to meh, how many meh are your nippers? I think this is the last piece other than the weapon. I will probably leave the weapon for another day. I'm definitely at my limit, I think. I might even turn my alarm off tonight. I think I should do that. And sleep in tomorrow for a change. All right, so to put this. That side went on a lot better. All right. All right, I got wings. Gotta get closer, I guess. Right there, and then these, I guess, can extend up a little bit. What did I just launch off here? Back skirt. There we go. So, needed a weapon, obviously. These wings are pretty cool. I guess they can, everything can fold down too. I don't know, I'm gonna break it if I try to do this tonight. To check out posing. I think the wings can fold down around it, but I'm gonna call that good for tonight because I owe my wife at least a little bit of my attention. So I will catch you next time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back at it next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Every Saturday is when I run the stream here. So I'll be back at this a week from today. It's also worth checking out on mechawarehouse.com. We get the virtual community events page. We do two public Zoom virtual build days, build nights. The next one, we usually run one 10 p.m. on Fridays Eastern time, and 3 p.m. on Sundays. So that would be tomorrow at 3 Eastern time. So if you want to build with some other people, definitely check that out. And see you guys next time. Later, guys.